Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Books and Bullshit, where the topics are made up and your opinions don't matter. I am USA Today best-selling author Zachary Chupchinsky, the Bowtie author. Y'all know me, y'all love me, be honest. I'm here with the witch from the dark, the queen of snark, USA Today best-selling author Martina McAtee. Martina, say something to our people.
He's lying to you. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. Just so you know.
God damn it, is that all it is?
Yeah. We've been trapped in this room since now.
It's been 2 hours.
Since yesterday at noon.
We recorded 18 sound checks. We could only keep 2 of them.
In the last 24 hours, we've recorded 18 sound checks.
Fucking technical difficulties are whores.
This should be the name of our podcast. Technical difficulties.
Are whores. All right, so on a serious note, we got some tea to spill with you bitches, and it's going to be awesome. Martina, since, you know, like we discussed, they're the brains and I'm the laughing boy. What are we going over today?
All right, today we are diving into the Christian Soroya scandal. Some of you might know it as the hashtag copy paste Chris scandal. If you don't, you can look it up. That's CRIS.
AKA the author formerly known as that bitch.
Exactly. So we're going to sort of dive into the timeline of what's been going on with that. And then we're just going to talk some shit about her because that's just how we roll here.
Fuck yeah. And like Martina's going to go into the timeline. So Martina, we're going to start from the very beginning of like what this is.
Yes.
And then why Nora Roberts is still my queen. I've been telling you guys for multiple podcasts. Nobody fucking listened, and you're about to learn some more about Miss Nora Roberts.
Y'all gonna learn today.
And keep in mind, as we're getting into this and we start discussing some of the aspects about Queen Nora, is she is 68 years old, and this woman straight is just like, I'm about to take out my earrings and smack a bitch. Like, she ain't playing.
Zach still wants to hit that.
I would, yeah. A little. You want Granny to take her teeth out? What's the age bracket for cougars? Because there's like cougars and then pumas and like meerkats.
But isn't there something above cougars? Because
no, there is. There's like every 10 years you get a new cat.
Cat, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not really up to date on my cougar timeline.
Kiggums?
On my kitty timeline.
Oh man, not really up on my kitty's timeline.
Except
whoa!
I think I'm actually in cougar status now.
Only if you're like macking on dudes in their 20s.
No, God no.
Like, what's that gonna get you other than just
an STD?
Probably.
That's
what's that going to get you? An STD and a shitload of drama that I do not need in my life.
Oh, sounds exhausting. Even talking about dating a 20-year-old sounds exhausting.
Like, what do you even talk about? Like, yeah, Snapchat. Like, I don't...
That's not even a thing anymore. Apparently Snapchat's, like, dead. Like, already. Thank God I never bothered to learn to use it.
So what are the kids using now?
I don't know.
Grindr?
No, that's not for children, Zach.
Are you sure? Kids today are starting early.
Well, yeah, but technically it's illegal.
Oh. There's, I forget the name of it. Shit, there is a social media app that only works on college campuses. It's hilarious. And it's like, it's an instant messaging app where you just post things up. Did one of the dogs shit themselves?
Oh.
Charlie.
Good.
Charlie.
Oh, you bastard.
And once again, we have all of our fur babies in the office with us as we're recording, and Martinez just shit himself. I know it's yours because Old Man Milk Farts is over here by me, and I'm not getting any of it.
Oh, no. Oh, and it's got teeth. Oh, Jesus. Now that my eyes are watering, you fuckface.
But it's funny because the social media app, like, students would just post shit on there, and you could thumbs up or thumbs down it, and once it got... It's just like one or two little little one-liners. And once it got more than like 10 thumbs downs, it got deleted from the message board. That's just how the app worked. I forget the name of the damn app now. But it was funny. We used to use it all the time.
Is it called Facebook?
No. It's like just a messenger app. But it's like students didn't think that we, when we were in campus security, were watching that app. And so they'd be like, hey, party in this dorm room. And we're just in security like, all right, we'll be there in 15 minutes.
You didn't even wait for it to get going. You got to wait for it to get underway. Then you go.
Or it would be funny because they would try to like have codes for us. None of them were very good. Usually pig related, but they'd be like, "Oh, pigs in the Mayberry Hall" or whatever. And it's like, really, guys? Like, well, we see this. We know that you know where we are. Students are stupid.
You should just make posts like, oink, oink, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Squeal like a piggy. Whee! So we kick in the door.
You sure do got a purty mouth.
No, we can't say that. Catholic school. Lots of female students.
What if you're saying it to a guy? Oh, wait, it's Catholic school. Never mind.
Yeah, they're repressed enough. They'd be into it. All right, so copy paste Chris. Martina, kind of let's roll from the start of this, and because you're the one with the notes and shit with your phone up.
All right, so once again, I was lucky to be at the forefront of this scandal, so I got to watch the whole thing break down.
This bitch is just, you're always up in the drama, first and foremost.
I like to observe the drama, but this time I did sort of tiptoe into it a little bit.
Tiptoeing in your drama.
A little bit.
A little riff-raff,
right.
Start the day.
So on February 19th,
2019.
yes, Courtney
The
Milan,
year of our Lord.
who is a very, very well-known romance author, publishes a blog post, and she basically titled it something along the lines of Christiane Saruya is a liar, a plagiarist, and an idiot.
So shots fired out the gate.
So she came out the corner swinging, and she publishes the post and says that Christiane has basically blatantly stolen huge chunks of text from her books, and then she posts the chunks of text side by side between her books plural, and the book Royal Love, supposedly by Christiane Saruya.
Now, and with that, now because a few people did this. Now, wasn't it in a lot of these circumstances, the author claiming this bitch plagiarized from me? Their book came out significant amount of time before Chris's book came out.
Well, since there's now 51 different authors, it's of everybody's books pretty much came out obviously before the one she plagiarized. Because,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's not even like what's Chris's story? It's no, these books were out and established, and then this bitch is like, let me snap.
But in the beginning, all they knew was that she had basically stolen some chunks from Courtney Milan, and that Courtney was saying that Courtney is a attorney, by the way, in her muggle job, and she's a professor at an extremely prestigious law school. So, fucking, you're a really dumb bitch for coming at her, but. So she says basically she has made the RWA, the Romance Writers Association, she's made them aware of this, and that she's basically going to take this as far as she can. So not even 2 hours later, Tessa Dare and Bella Andra, also huge romance authors, all on the New York Times bestseller list, also find that they've been plagiarized by this same author for the same book. And they start putting up their receipts, essentially, showing big chunks of their books and where they fall in her book, that the same Royal Love book. So this is, like I said, this is all within a couple of hours of each other. Well, then Christiane Saruya, who actually is Brazilian and lives in Rio de Janeiro, she wakes up to find that her world has essentially exploded.
Yeah, she wakes up to find out that she's dead.
She instantly starts posting on Twitter that this is all a huge mistake, that she did not realize that she had plagiarized because she now doesn't even write her own books, that she hires ghostwriters to write her books.
Now, I have to say that was probably one of the worst ways you could have argued your innocence. Like, oh no, that's not my fault because I didn't write any of my shit.
Yeah, that's like saying I couldn't have punched that one guy in the nose. I was too busy murdering that other guy.
And in that, it's like either way, that signals that you are not the author and your career is done. So why would you choose just go down like, yeah, I stole from it? Because the other one's almost worse. It's like, okay, so not only was this text stolen, but you're a fucking liar.
Right. And honestly, even if the ghostwriting thing was true, the burden falls on you. You hire a ghostwriter, it's your responsibility to make sure they're not plagiarizing. But that's neither here nor there. So
and we'll get into ghostwriters later, by the way.
You should know that Christiane Saruya is also an attorney in Brazil. So she can't even say, I didn't know any better. She knew exactly what she was doing.
What kind of attorney is she? Is she like an ambulance chaser?
I have no idea. It's just written out on her bio. And that's actually her real name. She didn't even use a pen name, which is even worse.
I gotta say that this also, now I'm starting to understand. No, now I know why she didn't just admit the fact that, yeah, she's plagiarized this shit, because that's fraud, and she's a lawyer. She's like, yeah, I defrauded all this money and all this other shit. Good luck in your personal career as a lawyer.
So basically, same day, social media just erupts. Like, everybody just starts getting into this huge debate about ghostwriters, their responsibility. Susan Tisdale, who's also a very well-known writer, basically says that she thinks that a lot of this comes from the whole pressure of indie authors to write to market, and this putting out a book a month thing causes people to want to use ghostwriters to put books out faster, and how a lot of scammers use this technique to defraud people and to make a ton of money, and how it's basically damaging the book industry, which sends everybody off the rails. And all of a sudden people start splitting up into camps about, ghostwriting, is it okay? Is it not okay? What do you care how many books I put out a year? Don't be jealous that I make money and you don't, that sort of thing.
So, Martina, do we want to take a moment to talk about ghostwriting, or is this going to come up later?
Nope, that's coming up later.
Okay. So I got things to say.
We both have a lot of things to say, so we're actually going to make this sort of a 3-part series where we discuss ghostwriting and, also writing to market and sort of rapid release and how that affects other people and stuff on Amazon.
And I know that we put out
feel free to direct your hate mail to Books and Bullshit.
Well, and here's the deal. And I know, it's going to be 3-part series, and usually you're going to guys are going to get the parts over a few weeks. And I know that we try to, sometimes these sorts of dramas, not sometimes, all the time on social media, these dramas explode and then burn out. I mean, there's still huge fallout from them, but they ignite, everything burns, explodes, and then the next day the fire is gone, but the damage is still done. But so we're going to get into stuff with some of those things. We'll do kind of this main post that we're going to do here. We're going to talk a lot about Chris, and then as we get into the other parts, we're going to speak about things like the ghost writing and other things like that. And to be honest, you guys can throw that hate mail all you want, but coming from 2 authors who are working the grind, this is going to sound really egotistical, but I mean, I think in our circles we get a little bit of respect. We roll with very respectable authors, and we act like professionals.
Very small smattering of respect.
But we do, because we strive to be professionals, be respectful, and emulate what authors should be, which is people that are creating these things. And so this is coming from people that actually work in the industry and how this impacts us. So what I'm saying is, love you, mean it. If you don't like it, eat a dick. Anyway, Martina, keep going with your notes. You're doing great so far. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Very good storyline. You've built this up well. You clearly have outlined this. You're not being a pantser right now. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I don't like to pants real things. Because the stuff in my head, they're not going to check me on, but the stuff that actually happened.
True.
Very
true.
Then the scandal gets worse because somebody points out that they think that Christiane made her USA Today bestseller status by joining a box set of a person who, in our industry, has a very controversial name. And you will note that I am not saying who that is. They know who they are. You probably know who they are. But somebody uses this as an opportunity to throw said person under the bus.
You guys can't see it, but I'm giving Martina the bitch, what are you doing face.
They basically tried to use this as an opportunity to say, like, oh, well, this is another thing about indies, like, just getting these fake, USA Today bestseller statuses off these box sets, blah, blah, blah. She's damaging the industry, yada, yada. And then an hour later, it turns out that, haha, it wasn't her box set. And I know that there were a few blog posts by her addressing that, but yeah, so somebody tried, but they didn't do their homework. Because
that sounds like somebody that almost that could have been a sneaky tactic on behalf of copy paste Chris, because it kind of like shifting the focus off of, well, let's not even look at copy paste Chris. Let's look at this huge other problem.
Personally, I think it was one of the.
I think
the
it was
many
just
haters that this particular.
I think somebody just saw an opportunity and they took it.
Took an opportunity to try and throw some shit. Not really thinking about the fact that this particular person will come out and say, no.
Like, did you bother to look at this? Yeah.
I list every single box that I've ever done on my page. You can clearly see this.
You know what I love, and this is gonna sound like so bitchy, but fuck it. The people that always complain about these sorts of things and all this other stuff, it's like, you know what? Maybe you're right. What accolades do you have? Oh, none. Okay, keep complaining about my shit. That's cool.
Right, but then you also get into the whole writing to market thing and the rapid release thing. Like, so it becomes one of those things where you're like, yes, it's a problem, but I'm going to take advantage of it because I don't have the time or the money to wait. Or you just, or you just sit down and you just make peace with the fact that you're probably not going to make a lot of money for 6 or 7 or 8 years until you do have 20 titles under your belt or whatnot. So there's good and bad in all of it, and there's a lot of shortcuts that some of us take, and I say us for a reason, that but like you do what you can with what you have, but at the end of the day it's like, well, and was it damaging to the group as a whole?
If you've done, and here's where I'm at with it, it's all about earning what you get, right? If you've done the work, you've written the books, the box sets, you've pushed for sales and done everything like you would for any other book, and if you've done the work, you've earned it.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of people in those box sets that don't do shit, that ride the train, so to speak.
And a good box set organizer will cull that herd.
Oh yeah.
And
as they do frequently.
Yes. And so take that out of it. My firm stance is we can have the conversation if you've earned where you're at. If you've written the piece, or you've pushed those sales, you've organized it, it is you, then you've earned that right to talk. Now, the people that pay other people to do this for them and those sorts of things, you're not an author. You haven't earned any of it. You're just slapping your name on other people's work. Fuck yourself.
And with the box set, I will say this. The reason people make the sales isn't they're not buying their way onto a list. They're combining their assets to put money towards advertising and marketing that they would not have the ability to do any other way.
Well, plus 25 people pushing one book is a lot better than one person.
Right, but think about all the ads that you can buy with all that money versus one book title and, the Facebook ads and all that other stuff, because the numbers you have to hit are pretty astronomical. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't been in the industry 25 years and don't have a mailing list of 50,000 people that hit, one click, then, the only way to do it is through advertising. And, if you don't have $10,000 set aside for an ad budget, which I don't know who you are if you do, then this is a good way to get yourself out there.
10 to 20 people will get together, pool their resources, collect $15,000 to $20,000 for advertisement, push the sales. That's a business agreement. That's what actual companies do. That's acting like a professional more so than anything else half the time.
And anybody that follows either one of you knows that, because they were probably all bored to death with how many times you reposted your box sets and asked people to fucking buy them.
Especially mine, because my book had already come out as an independent title.
So mine hasn't come out. Well,
I was double dipping.
Well, now I'm kind of annoying because next month my book's coming out. I wrote mine for my box set. Now it's going to come out as an independent. So I'm going to then re-hit him with that. But I do want to say this, as we're getting into this, and I know we'll get into it later, but again, doing the work, right? Do the work. An author is defined as a writer of a book, article, or report. If you do not write the shit, you're not an author. You ain't. Sorry.
You're about to piss off a lot of
people. I save that to piss off people for the ghostwriting topic, Zach.
We'll get there.
Okay, so by the end of the first day, they the list of plagiarized authors had gone all the way to 12. Most of them were on the New York Times bestseller list. Some of them were #1 New York Times bestsellers, including the Queen, Nora Roberts.
My girl. And if
Zach
we
already has
and
a
if
direction.
it's a half. It's like a half thing of Rolaids right now. But I think at some point, if we get the chance today, maybe we'll get a video of us for 15 minutes.
So showing them your heart on for Nora Roberts?
Yeah.
Like, that was a weird segue.
That was a weird
That was a weird,
No, they are related, but you have to let me get there. So
Get there faster before we get sued.
If we can, I'd like to spend 15-20 minutes pop up town real quick and go to that used bookstore and see if we can get a copy of Nora Roberts.
Pop up town? That's what you went with?
Yeah, Tentville. My little camp in my pants.
You're not allowed to read Nora Roberts till I go home.
Aww.
All right.
We're gonna have to stop at Walgreens on the way back. He's got to get a pack of highlighters.
I didn't.
I have highlighters here.
I didn't know why we were popping into Walgreens. I was like, for condoms? What's happening here?
He's about to fuck a book.
Okay, so about the end of the day, Courtney Milan, very saltily and rightfully so, notes that Christiane Soroya had nominated her book, Royal Love, for a Rita Award, which is the biggest award you can get in romance writing. Courtney Milan's book was not allowed to be accepted for a Rita Award. And they basically, for some reason, she wasn't permitted to submit her book.
Why not? Do you know?
No, and she might have said, but it's just gotten so lost in all of the drama. But yeah, she hadn't been permitted to submit her book for a Rita, but the girl who plagiarized her books was currently up for an award. That got yanked down literally the same day.
That would when this all came out, that would sting so fucking bad.
So, the next day, basically Christiane Soroya first off was saying, like, oh, I'm going to show proof that I didn't do this, that I was duped just like you guys were by these ghostwriters. And then she promptly shut down all social media. Like, she went complete radio silence. She ghosted. Ironically, her ghostwriters did not. They got in touch with Courtney Milan and were like, we basically want to clear our name. And they said that they could prove that she came to them with big chunks of text and were like, turn this into a story. So she was submitting the plagiarized material to them and then trying to force them to sort of piece it together into a somewhat legible story. They also said that she never paid them for the work that they did. So not only did she force them into unknowingly plagiarizing other authors, she then didn't pay them for their work once they did it. So, bang up job so far. Just killing this whole life thing.
Damn.
Let's see.
So this whole thing so far, from start to where we're at in the story, is just a hot dumpster fire.
Big time.
Okay, just making sure we're keeping track. For those of you playing the home game.
Yeah, so then by the end of the day, it was 26 authors and 2 recipes that she had plagiarized.
Two recipes?
Oh, wait, it gets better because I have the whole list.
Of the recipes? Were they good?
Everything, yes, including the recipes. So then this Portuguese, or he's Brazilian, but he speaks Portuguese, this author who is also, I guess, a journalist, somehow got in touch with Christiane Soroya, who basically said she was going to clear her name and blah, blah, blah. And I'll just sum up the article. She basically claims that she's a victim here.
Of course. Why not?
Yeah. So
Boom,
we'll
boom,
post...
boom, boom. Wait, do we have sound effects? Layla, didn't we find out that you have sound effects?
Yes, but I don't know how to insert them right now.
Damn it. We have to like put like a boom 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 something.
Yeah.
If that's not good enough.
So we'll post the links to the article if you want to read it. We'll post it like with the when we put it up online. But then this
Post
hits.
it in the Facebook group. We can't post it in the...
Yeah.
So then it hits the Guardian and the New York Times.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that Christiane Sorolla is being accused of plagiarism, and here's the receipts and everything. And it just sort of kind of gets a life of its own. It almost becomes a game to see who she plagiarized. And
it's like fucking bingo.
yeah, all right.
Dude, we should do bingo.
Well, so the thing is like, if you don't know romance, like a lot of these names, like for you being a YA author, and like you like suspense and horror and stuff like that, and like, so a lot of these names, people were just kind of like, I don't know who they are. But I grew up reading romance and historical romance. So some of these people are like my idols.
Well, that's like me with Nora Roberts. Like my grandmother rather. So you hit the nail on the head, because I usually read horror and science fiction. But when they said Nora Roberts, I'm like, oh, hold up, what the fuck just happened?
What? My girl?
Nobody fucks with Nora.
All right, so it's been a week now, and as of this recording, she stole from 51 books, 34 authors, 3 articles, 3 websites, and 2 recipes.
And she also stole her neighbor's cat, that fucking bitch.
In addition to Nora Roberts, she also stole from Lisa Kleypas, who is one of my absolute favorite authors, especially when I was like in my 20s. She took from Abby Green, Erica Phoenix, Christy Caldwell, another huge author, Gina Showalter, huge author. We share a book cover designer.
Not name dropping, but
Karen Marie Moaning.
Wait a minute, her last name is Moaning?
Yes, and oh my god, she used to write this Highland series. She probably still does. I fucking loved that series when I was in my 20s. It's
is that
amazing.
A pen name, or is that just fortuitous naming?
I think that might just actually be her name.
Damn, that worked out.
It did.
Well, with a name like Moaning, you only go into a couple of different...
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's an actual, like, you know, they're named Dick Trickle.
Nora Roberts is by far one of the biggest names, but they have also now proven that she has stolen from Diana Gabaldon. You might know her as the bitch who wrote Outlander series.
I was going to say, I've actually heard of that name.
Yeah. She stole from fucking Diana Gabaldon. Like, she's right there on fucking Stars every goddamn week now. And that's just, like, so blatant in your face. Like, Nora, you know, she kind of puts her books out, but she keeps low key. But, like, right now, Outlander is everything. So the fact that she didn't think that even one author would... or one person would pick up on this. And by the way, it was readers who brought this to Courtney Milan's attention. Readers who were so into Courtney's books that when they did read Royal Love, they just couldn't help but notice that it sounded familiar. And they did the work, and they figured it out.
Now, here's the thing, and one question that I have about it. Maybe the reason why she had such gall behind this is because of her separation from the United States market being in Brazil, perhaps because of the way that South America is and the way that market works. And I have, for some reason, a lot of readers in South America and in South Africa, which is awesome, but I don't know how I ended up in those markets. But maybe that's what gave her that ego. It was like, I'm literally on like a world apart. I might be able to pull this shit off.
Well, that was the thing. I on one hand, I sort of was like, okay, was it because she thought that they couldn't touch her because she's out of the country?
Yeah, like legalities, like how do you go
legally,
after her?
like were they? Because there's a lot of book scammers that we deal with, people who throw up these sites and steal our books and stuff like that and put them on pirate sites, but they know that they're safe because they're in foreign countries. They're hidden behind all these corporations. And
Canada, for example. Not throwing shade, but seriously, we get these out of Canada a lot.
Yeah, we see you, ebook.bite, motherfucker.
Ebook.bite, kiss my ass. I'm sorry, it's not funny.
But...
I tried to have a pun, but it died.
It didn't work.
Because I realized, like, I was going to say ebook.com, or ebook.bite me or something like that, but I'm like, oh, it's bike, not bite. I'm retarded. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so we don't know if there was like just she lived in sort of an insulated bubble if she really just thought that because she was just stealing one or two lines for the most part, in some cases entire paragraphs.
Well, I was
but
going to say,
a
she
lot
was
of it,
stealing sections in some areas.
right, but a lot of it was just like one sentence or two, and she would try to like change them just slightly enough to where maybe she thought that, and it worked, because I think in a lot of ways it tricked plagiarism checkers. Like if you were to put that up, is one of my favorite things to do in college, was to just take big chunks of text and then just like take their $5 words and turn them into $10 words, and then like, because I knew it would pass the plagiarism checker, but I didn't really want to do the work.
Damn, Martina.
It's true. Hey, look, I used to write
Shameful.
PhD papers for people, so it's not like I don't know how to write, clearly. But
That also explains the length of your books.
yeah, that's actually really true.
Yeah, because theses are fucking some of the most dense shit you'll ever read or write.
Not that my books are dense.
No, but the size of your books.
Yeah.
Because when it's a thesis, they like hearing themselves speak.
Well, but it's basically
You should just say Martina likes hearing herself speak.
pot
Martina,
kettle.
stop me when I lie.
I do not like hearing myself speak. I hate hearing myself
I'm
speak.
talking about if you've read these master's level thesis papers, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, no,
though.
they're
And so do
definitely,
you too,
like-
Curtin. Don't throw
Yeah,
shade
she
at
had
me.
to write a
Yeah,
thesis.
get the fuck out of here with that. Literally written a novel verse in research. That 2-inch stack is probably still in that fucking box right there.
I used to make $35 a page taking foreign PhD students' papers and turning them into basically English language. That's how I got through nursing school.
What language did you translate from?
It wasn't. They would write it in very broken English, and then I
you'd
would
add fluidity.
make them sound like natural speakers.
We have a friend, Jordan, who lives over in Tampa, and she's fluent in Russian, and that's what she used to. She used to take government forms and translate them into Russian, and she got paid really good money to do that. Apparently.
I don't know why, but anytime somebody can speak Russian, they become instantly more attractive to me. There was this guy who actually posted on my page.
Das Vadanya.
No,
Moist.
he's this really good-looking guy, whose name I'm not saying. Not that he listens to this, but still. But like his bio reads like fucking James Bond. It's like former worker with the defense agency in Washington D.C. and it like he has all these cool jobs. It's like speaks Russian, like he was like some like interpreter, and like he had all these like really cool things, and he's a writer, and he's this, and I was just like it's like, you're really cute. And then I was like, it sounds fake though. So then I did this like I started deep diving into his profile,
God damn it.
hoping that I could catch him in a lie.
And what did you do?
But he was the real deal.
Yep.
Yeah, and he has a lot of family members who, like, I don't think you would lie about all that shit and tag your family in it. If you did, you were ballsy. It's like the whole family got together and we're like, yep, this is the lie we're sticking with.
Whatever makes Bobby happy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Or
so anyway, yeah.
Comrade Babushka.
And that's the story of how I became a stalker. Anyway.
Actually, I tried. There's an app that's really awesome, the Duolingo, which is what's happening.
Duolingo owl.
I love it, and it really helps me with Italian. But like I tried to use it to learn Polish, doing that ancestry thing, and finding out that I'm basically a straight up Polak. But man, Polish, the Slovak languages are a bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like whole letters that are just complete symbols that aren't in our fucking alphabet. And Duolingo, the way it picks up, it does great starting from the beginning, but it's like, you should still at least know what these letters look like. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. This looks like an R with a bent little crook thing off of it. Oh, that's a cuss sound. I'm done. Like, I don't fucking know.
Well, it's like Michaela teaching herself Korean and Arabic. I'm like, no, just don't. Like, start with Spanish. But
Donde estás las biblioteca?
My uncle speaks like 7 languages because but he spoke 5 before he went into 4 before he went into the CIA. But he speaks this insane amount of languages. But because he learned, because he learned German first, he could never speak Spanish. Something to do with like, once you learn to say the words a certain way, like you never could properly pick up like a Spanish like accent or whatever. But so there's like one language he learned that ruined ever learning the other language for him. So he had to make do with speaking Arabic and Thai and German and
right
French.
now, with the way that our government focuses on it, you learn like Farsi or something, and you're pretty much good with whatever they need you to do.
Well, my uncle worked for a library for years, and he decided he wanted to go into the diplomatic corps. So he took the test, and then he never heard back from them. So he went and he took the test again, and he didn't hear anything. So I guess he went to take the test again, and they finally called him, and they were like, "It takes years for us to vet you. Please stop taking the test. You passed it the first time." They were like, "Please, you're just gumming up the works at this point."
It takes us years to do one of these. Now we gotta do fucking 3 for your ass.
Yeah, they were just like, "Please stop. We're working on it. Just calm down." And so yeah, no, now he's actually retired, but he used to. His retirement job was declassifying classified information. He would go into work at like 3 a.m, and he'd be done by like 9 a.m, and he would just sit in his office and declassify classified information.
That's the redaction guy with the big Sharpie and just take this line out.
No, he's doing the opposite now. Because when things run, like they run on a timeline, and when it
25
no longer,
years usually.
Yeah, and when it no longer becomes classified, he unerases. He declassifies.
He deracts.
It's just funny.
I don't know.
He has a way cooler job than me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, heard. Church. All right, so we were talking about
before we derailed.
Welcome to the bullshit portion of Books and Bullshit. Brought to you by shit. I didn't give us a sponsor for this. Brought to you by us because we are bringing it to you.
Wow, you really reached deep for that one.
Yes, I did. That's what she said.
Is it?
No,
it's definitely not. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that Nora Roberts has been on a tear since this started. And I don't know if you guys remember this from 2 episodes ago when we talked about, or 4 episodes ago, we talked about the Tomi Adeyemi / Nora Roberts Friday night fight that went down.
That Nora won.
Yeah. But that was the first time I got a taste of her blog called Fall Into the Story. And so I've kind of just been keeping a close eye on it because I actually just dig the way she writes. Like, she's just, she's very classy in everything she does.
Yep.
So when it first came out, she kind of said basically what a lot of us were saying, which was that when you hire a ghostwriter, one, you're, not technically a writer. You're not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But there are legitimate reasons that authors will hire ghostwriters, and we'll get into some of those reasons. But, especially the way she did it, where she wasn't a writer at all. She was a plagiarist who then didn't even have the she didn't even have the gumption to actually try to put a story together with all the shit she'd stolen. She gave it to somebody else to do it for her, which is insult to injury. But, she touched on the writing to market thing and the whole rapid release and the amount of scammers that are on Amazon that are really giving everybody a bad name. And people had the audacity to basically come at her and say...
That was, audacity isn't the term. We're not plugging the sound system that we're using to record this.
Which nobody would have known had you... Not
I'm just saying, Audacity, if you want us to keep that in there, maybe we should bleep it out and be like, if you want us to keep that in there, you need to sponsor us.
And they'd say, the audacity! How dare you blackmail us?
That's right. Books and blackmail.
Exactly. Because Books and Bullshit wasn't making us enough money.
Yeah, so we're going to Books and Blackmail. You know who you are, you know what you did, and we know what you did. You're going to pay us now.
Send your money, too.
Care to the owner.
Books and bullshit.paypal.com. That's not a real address.
P.O. Box.
But send us your real. Send us money. We'll tell you.
You know what's funny is this is such vain bullshit. I was in the post office the other day mailing something out to a reader, and I'm like, if and when I ever hit it big, I really need to get a P.O. box so people don't know where I live.
I have a P.O. box. It's always fun, too, because I find stuff in there that I forgot about for months. And I'm like, oh, I bet these would have been really cool cookies had I eaten them before they were rocks.
Expired 90 days ago. Cool.
That's fine. 90 days, that's within the
I'll
window,
dip
right?
them in milk. That'll soften them right up.
Right up. Okay.
Oh, can I have one of those coins from that box behind your curtains? I want to show Martina.
I already did.
Oh.
Here, you can show her.
No, you already took it.
Can
from
I
me.
have one of those coins so that I can plug my coins and...
You better catch it.
Yeah.
I don't want
And
it.
that's
You
how
already-
Zach lost his tooth again.
You already took that from me.
I mean, it's not like I didn't see them online.
Yeah, but they're
You
cooler in
big
person.
baby.
They're cooler in person.
But actually,
your ears.
Nora...
I said cover your ears. Nobody listens to me.
I really hope your listeners listen to you.
Cover your ears, he says, as he's flinging it.
Y'all need better reaction time. Yeah, I got the reactions of a dead cow.
Did you just call all of our readers dead cows?
No, that's from a movie.
I think he
Snow
called
Day?
us dead cows.
I did not.
Just call me a dead cow.
God damn it, Martina. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, back to
I
Nora
called you
Roberts.
a fat punk ass one time in our 12, 13 years together.
He did. He really did.
It was an accident.
Female listeners, you can send your
Sounds like
angry
a Freudian
emails
slip.
straight to our Twitter at booksandbsp1 at twitter.com. Feel free to tag Zach and tell him what a fucking dick he is.
Calling his wife fat.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
dumbest fucking thing.
I said it in absolute anger and it slipped out. Because I was like, I was going to call her punk ass was happening no matter what. And I was going to call her a funkin'.
You were going to call her a funky punk ass?
You
So
funky.
wait, now I'm fat and smelly? Aw. I mean, I'm not going to deny it, but...
That is so not true. If anybody's smelly in this fucking relationship, it's definitely Zach.
No, it's
I'm
Charles.
just a fat, smelly troll.
Wow.
No, Martina's like, wow, looking at me. I never once called him a fat, smelly troll.
You
First
called her a fat
No.
punk ass.
No, she just added fat, smelly troll, and you looked at me like, you son of a bitch, and I did not fucking call her that.
You called her fat. That's enough.
I didn't call her a
That's grounds for divorce in any relationship with me.
I almost said a fat, smelly squirrel. I didn't call her a fat, spunky...
Wait.
Wait, what did I call you now? The funky Cole Medina? I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Would it have softened the blow if he'd have called you a fat, funky squirrel?
That sounds like a really shitty dance. Like, oh, the funky chicken. Let's do the fat, funky squirrel. Like,
That's the only way I dance. Again,
Sorry, guys,
everybody, that's Books and Bullshit Podcast at Facebook.com if you'd like to leave your comments to Zach. Tell him what a piece of shit he is.
I mean, we had to put some humor in this because this shit's just dense. All right, so where are we going next? So are we done with talking about the initial Chris hit, and then we're going to transition to the other parts, or is there still more to your notes that you wanted to discuss with this?
Well, I will tell you that the very first blog post that Nora put up, she was actually talking about how she'd been plagiarized once before.
Yes, and it was, and speaking about how much just Nora is just absolute, like, eloquence and charm, is how she handled that. Like, she even gave the person the benefit of the doubt.
Not only that, she was going to go take the person's fucking plagiarized material and fix it for her, which is fucking insane. And
yeah, she's too classy for that
she
shit.
said that the girl cried and said that she had never done this before.
They were friends.
And that she was under a lot of pressure and blah, blah, blah. And then Nora agreed. And then her people were like, hurry up and get us the finished material. Which, I'm sorry, what the fuck? But then it turned out that she had done it before.
Yeah, Nora.
And was still doing it.
Within a couple of weeks after this debacle and everybody was happy, found out that she did it multiple times.
Yeah. Which,
This is the only time I've ever done this. I'm so sorry.
So,
you fucking lied.
Nora was rightfully fucking furious this time. And she's basically calling everybody out and telling them that if they're scammers and they're plagiarists and they're hiring ghostwriters and not writing a lick of their own material, then she's coming for them. That's basically what she said. You are on notice because she's taking her earrings off. Shit going down. She's done because she can do that because she's rich.
Nora goddamn Roberts.
She got that fat bank account.
Yeah, I'll just buy you.
Exactly. So yeah. So I don't know how long this is. How are we doing? How are we doing on time there, Curtains?
You're fine.
Go ahead, Zach. Entertain us.
Ha-cha-cha-cha.
That was
That was
fucking
actually-
creepy,
That was
but really creepy.
What?
That was
It's creepy but good.
I'm gonna do that in the dark. I'll turn off all the lights. Like,
Okay, now we're gonna do the whole podcast with Zach as Morgan Freeman. Go. Start over again.
Oh. Nora Roberts is a good friend of mine. I remember as a boy, I used to ejaculate to her writings and musings.
What's wrong with
My
you?
ears.
I went through many a time in the bathroom with a Nora Roberts novel
And a highlighter.
and a highlighter. Where the highlighter ended up is between me and the highlighter.
Oh my god.
But it does explain why Zach suddenly likes fingers up his ass.
Yeah. When I was a boy and I would walk very fast, it would whistle.
Your fingers, the highlighter, or your ass?
Yes. Punchline is, copy paste Chris is a bitch. Nora Roberts is queen. I love Andy Dufresne.
Peace out.
Love peace and chicken grease. Morgan Freeman.
It makes me sad because Morgan Freeman used to be the voice on my Waze app. Did you know that? There was for about 3 months when he was promoting a movie, you could get Morgan Freeman's voice as your fucking Waze navigator. And when you got to your house, he'd be like, "You have arrived safely." I was like, "Thank you, Morgan."
I would
Thank
like
you."
if you miss your turn, like, take a left here. Well, you missed it. Let's get the next one.
Yeah, but when you started to leave, he'd be like, "All right, let's arrive safely." Yes, Morgan, let's.
Don't fuck this up. I'm in the car too.
Unlike Lance. Fucking Lance.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left, and then turn left.
Yeah, fucking Lance. But he won't even tell you what street you're about to be on.
And he takes forever because he sings it to you, and it aggravates me when I'm listening to something on the Bluetooth.
As you're passing the road, he's like, left. It's like, God damn it.
In a quarter of a mile, turn. By the time he gets done singing the line, it's like, oh shit, turn left.
Bat turn.
Fishtailing and shit.
Yeah, and then he's like, here, get off here so I can put you in an even bigger accident here.
Well, and like I said, like when they cuts in and they voice over the music you listen to a good tune, and all of a sudden it goes, hazards reported ahead. And I'm like, dude, I just missed the chorus, you fucking asshole.
Or how about when the road, like the title of the road is like 6 different things because it's like U.S. Highway 1, also da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I get it! I'm already on the fucking highway!
U.S. Highway 1, 441, St. John's Road, exit 19, U.S. Route 4. Like, I don't fucking care. Tell me to turn right, you son of a bitch.
Put my music back on!
Fuck you, Lance.
I can't be alone with my own thoughts this long.
That'd be another great word. Be more Freeman, like, U.S. Route 1, Highway 4. Fuck it. Turn left. All right, well, I think that's it for this episode. We're going to get into some more tea on the next one. Thanks for coming on by, guys. Martine, you want to drop some links on these people?
Oh, fuck.
Or do that, but I mean, I'll leave.
As long as Layla stays, that's fine.
All right.
So books is like www.facebook.com/books and bullshit podcast, Instagram.com/books and BS podcast, or you can hit us up on Twitter to talk shit about Zach at twitter.com/books and books BSP1. Damn it, Layla.
Books and bullshit P1.
Books and bullshit P1
Martina had one
at.
job to do closing out this app, and she's fucking up our social media.
So, in the future, from now on, Zach will be doing all of our social media shout outs. I hope it was worth it, Zach.
I don't know our social media either.
And now you never will either.
I'm just in this to talk shit and be a bitch.
As evidenced by the way he talks to his own wife. A fucking saint.
What? I don't talk to my wife that way.
You called her a fat squirrel.
First off, it was a fat, funky squirrel, and I did not.
Again, you can send all your angry tweets straight to Zachary Chopchinsky.
Don't you send it out? Let me give
At
you
Zach Chop.
I was going to say, hang on, let me give you all of Zach's social media, because fuck him. All right,
Trust
guys.
me, just put the bow tie author into anything and you'll find him.
All right. Toodles.
Bye.